everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Tech This Week. My name is Apalak. So in this episode of Tech This Week, I want to talk about a paradox of India's IT industry, a sector that we monitor very closely. So as I mean, everyone is aware, so India has one of the largest IT services sectors globally, right? We produce close to 1.5 lakh engineers annually, and one of the biggest employers is the IT sector. In fact, if numbers are to be believed, we are the fourth largest exporter of digitally delivered services, right after US, UK, and Ireland, as per WTO. But this is where the paradox lies. Despite these impressive achievements, Tories feel India struggles to produce globally successful IT products. Mind you, I'm talking about products, not services. So, we lack IT products that are, made in India and adopted worldwide. Yes, there are few exceptions, and we'll come to that. But largely, I hope you understand where I'm coming from. But does it not make you wonder why is that, right? And I'll get into that. But before I analyze that, you're probably wondering why am I broaching this issue? So there are a precursor to this. So, this stems from the recent events which involved, Ola. Ola, is, as you are aware, announced its Ola map, saying that they're hiving off from Google Maps and they're going to go completely on their own charter, right? Which was brought to light by, and there were issues raised by Map My India CEO, right? So when last month, when Ola announced its full transition of Google Maps to its Ola Map platform, Map My India CEO called it more of a gimmick, accusing Ola of copying their data. So in fact, Map My India has apparently even sued Ola Electric over this. So, setting aside this controversy, the core issue that lies somewhere is, even for instance, if you take Map My India, while it has been a successful product, but can you imagine a company like Map My India scale out and become a global company? Probably not, right? So, somewhere the core issue is India's, inability to consistently deliver world-class IT products that can compete globally. We have the likes of, TCS, Infosys, Wipro in the IT service world, which are the best in their class of business. But no Indian equivalent of, say, a product like Google Maps and MS Office or Salesforce, right? So, which is what I said. But let's now dissect what could be some of the core reasons. There are many, I'm sure many of you are aware, but this is what came to my mind. First and foremost, in my view, is the cultural mindset. In India, the way we perceive failure is starkly different from the Western society. For instance, you take many examples. You take Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg. They were all college dropouts who went on to create world-changing tech products, right? In contrast, when you look at India, failure is often seen as a significant setback, creating a cultural barrier that is tied to creativity and discourage risk-taking. We understand that, people like Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, they belong to the developed world. Ours is still in the journey. But for how long will this remain, right? Moreover, I feel the Indian education system also tends to prioritize marks and technical skills over creativity and innovation, right? The emphasis has always been, how do I make sure the workforce is highly skilled, but not always oriented towards product innovation. Then comes market orientation, right? Because as I said in the beginning, most of our IT firms tend to focus more on services than products. This service-oriented model is client-driven, as you all know, focusing on customer solution. While profitable, it doesn't encourage them for risk-taking, which is needed for product innovation. The third aspect what we have seen very, very strongly embedded, like in areas like Silicon Valley in the US, is that of funding and support. Yes, agreed, all the investments in a startup is rising, but the ecosystem is still maturing, right? So unlike, like I said, the Silicon Valley, which offers a robust venture capital, mentorship, and market access, Indian product companies always struggle to secure the same level of support, especially in early stage. So it is not just about funding; it's fostering a complete entire ecosystem around it. And last but not least, very importantly, how do we scale and become globally competitive? Creating a product for the Indian market is one thing, but scaling it to a global level is altogether different. This requires deep market understanding, investment in marketing, localization, and support infrastructure. So Indian companies, as we've seen, often lack resources or expertise to scale globally, which differentiates them from their more successful global counterparts. So, but the question is, so will India's IT sector remain service oriented forever? Hopefully, the answer is no. Because we've seen some success stories in the past. We've seen how successful Zoho has been. Freshworks. In fact, if you take it further back, Tally also has been successful. Are they globally competitive products? Probably the answer is not entirely there, but there is something that has been done. From tech standpoint, we also led way in terms of UPI. I think it revolutionized the payment industry. I think somewhere we can take a lot of credence in how the UPIs work, and a lot of countries take a cue from what we've done. But moot point, like I said, as a country, we've rarely been known as innovators. Whenever we have innovated, we often ended up replicating a global product without the vision of taking it out to the world. I'd just like to conclude here. Many of you would have heard about the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? And when I was doing the story, this came to my mind. Our IT industry, began as the world's backend, delivering outsourced IT services in a cost-effective manner. So I draw the analogy here. This is akin to the fulfilling the basic physiological needs, the bottom-up part of the Maslow's hierarchy, which is a foundational stage. Then the industry transitioned to consistently providing, high-quality IT services, building trust and a strong reputation among global clients. That's the second layer, which is the trust-building phase, which is the safety needs part of this. This is where we currently stand. But I think it's time for our game to go one step up and move towards the next stage, right? So our focus has to now shift towards fostering a collaboration and innovation environment, which is what we call the social needs, and then eventually move on to, esteem needs, or what in Maslow's hierarchy we call the philanthropical needs, where we should aim to develop niche products that address specific market gaps. This is where we hope we reach sooner than later. So I think this is a phase where, and if we do all of this, that will lead us to, as you all know, if you know the Maslow's hierarchy, the top of the pyramid, which is called the self-actualization school, where we reach the summit of global leadership. Just to conclude, we just celebrated our 78 years of Indian independence. And the IT sector also is not that young anymore, with its roots going back to 1967 when PCA started. So it is nearly 58 years old itself. So we've come a long way. We've done a lot, right? But there's so much more to achieve. So if India, aims to become a $5 trillion economy, our IT industry, which plays a critical role, has to become much more effective than what it is now. The industry must climb the ladder of hierarchy, transition to the next stage, and making India the next tech big hub of the world. That's it from my end. Think about it. Let me know what you think of it on the comment. Bye for now.